Hello world, Meteorite here. Today we're playing some Factorio. Now in this game, everything's pretty complicated, but all you need to know is that we're going to be making everything automated. So, as you can see here, everything's pretty hectic. You got trains and all sorts of stuff. It's not going to start out that way. I made a small game just to see what it's all about, and it does not start this complicated. I don't think that we're going to even get this complicated until hours and hours and hours in. But without further ado, let's make a new game. Gonna play in free play. All this is just default. Normal settings, recommended way to play Factorio. Not doing anything weird. And you'll see from the get-go that the ship has already crashed. This is Factorio Free Play. Your task is to launch a rocket into space. You'll need to research advanced technologies in order to unlock the rocket silo. Start small, work your way up with automation, and don't forget to protect yourself from the natives. Don't worry about the natives just yet. They're not friendly. But we're just gonna pick up our spaceship, take all the materials that are here, because they're useful, especially in the early game. Oh, it's just a bunch of iron plating. And other minor items. So first things first, you'll see the minimap. There's red dots. There's black. There's some brownish colors. What does this all mean? So the green is trees, like the bright green. The black, gonna go over to, is coal. This is very important, especially for power generation. Then down here, there's copper and there's tin, I believe. Copper, no, not copper and tin, copper and iron. And the red dots are the bad guys. And we're not going over there just yet because I don't want to die this early in the game. Over to start, we got our burning miner drill, some stone forge. Don't need wood on the hot bar. Alright, we'll fix that later. But we're just gonna place the burner mining drill, and all we need to do is just stick a coal in there and it'll start mining coal automatically. It'll fuel itself. It won't fuel itself. We'll make an iron chest and it'll put it into the chest. But we just want that to go for a minute here while we prepare other things. For the most part, the early game is pretty slow. You're just collecting resources so that you can begin the automation. Not too much excitement going on right now, but it's a necessary first step. Alright, so now let's get furnace going here. Instead of having you put it in there, let's have you put it into the furnace. So now that's going to automatically power my furnace. It's going to automatically smelt the iron plates. And we'll get some copper. Now the point of all of this, but you'll see very shortly, these are just base components. It breaks the science down very, very simplistically. Copper is good for wiring, iron is good for chassis and for drills and all that nonsense. And coal is just a fossil fuel, it burns. Alright, that should be sufficient. And now what we're going to do is to start out, we need to get electricity. I need a lot more iron for that. No, to start out, let's get burner drills. Which means that we need furnaces, which means that we need stone. Alright, well that's what this tan stuff over here is, it's stone. So now we can make a furnace. We can turn that to a burner mining drill. We'll make all the components. And there we go. And that will give us more stone so that we can make more mining drills, so that we can get more automation going. And then back over here, I'll pick this up. I'm going to turn that one. I don't have enough iron. Quickly to the iron. Alright, place this down here for now. And again, it's a fairly slow start for the game. Well, what are you gonna do? More fuel. Alright, let's make another burner mining drill if we can. Still need more iron. Alright, so what this is going to do is it's just going to automate both of those so that they will mine coal until they're both full. So that way we have infinite coal being generated there with a max capacity of 100 coal. Next, let's get another burner mining drill here. We're just gonna put it right over here. Not too close to the edge so that we can get enough resources. And we're just going to have fuel in both of those so that it injects the iron straight into it and automatically makes plates. While the other automatically smelts it. So now we got a bunch of coal, and we're going to want to go back over to the stone, put more fuel in there because that ran out. Then we'll automate some copper. So we're just going to, again, make another burner mining drill. I don't have enough stone for another furnace. So we'll just get the mining drill right here, fuel it up. Then I'll go get more stone for another furnace. And I'll also loop back around to the coal to pick up some coal for it. Again, a lot of this early game is just going to be me running around, grabbing things, putting it in seemingly random places most of the time. Alright, so put that down there. Then we'll give you some coal. Put that over there. And now we're going to start working towards getting a steam engine running. So now this takes just a lot of iron, while the boiler takes a little bit of stone, but still mostly just iron. But we're also going to need an offshore pump. And then after we build it, we're going to need a lot of piping. But in the meantime, I'm just going to double my mining efficiency with another burner mining drill. Gotta get some coal for that. But what that's going to do is now instead of making one at a time, I'm making two at a time. And do not worry, the automation will happen. I will not be running all of this material everywhere forever. How much fuel do you have? You're good on fuel. that's a good amount of plates. And I'm gonna pick you up since I have enough copper for now. And you will join my iron making. Now, first things first, we need a good place to put the boiler. The boiler should be near your coal because that's what powers it. But it should be on the side with the water because you have to transport water to your pump. And you don't want it to be on the coal because then you make it so that you can't get to it. So we're going to put it right about here. That looks good. Now we're gonna pick you up, and we're going to have you specifically designated for that. Pick you up. And now you're going to go into production and we're going to get an offshore pump. Oh, you already had one, didn't we? Place you right there. And now we just need to build a ton of pipes and lead it all the way back. I prefer pipes to ground because that way they don't get in the way of everything. Now let's head back down to our plates. And we should have enough to get our electricity up and running. I would not recommend making too many of the burner drills though, because they are not useful later. Alright, now let's get some normal pipes. And two more. Now our boiler is up and running, and what the boiler is going to do is it's going to power this steam engine that we are making now. So now what does a steam engine do? It makes power. We got enough copper for making all of the wiring. But first things first, something's gotta hold that wiring up. We are going to have to make power lines, which means that we need some wood. You don't want to get too much wood, because after we're done with the high tension power lines made of wood, we make them out of other materials and wood becomes just less useful. So now what do we want to do? first things first, instead of using this burner mining drill, we want to make an electric mining drill, which means that we need more iron plates. Give you more fuel. So we're going to want a lot of these electric mining drills because they're going to be doing the bulk of everything. But we're also going to want a lot of transport belts. And what these transport belts are going to do, they're going to make it so that everything can move along smoothly and transport to where it needs to go. And then we have inserters, and the inserters move your items from one item to another. So we don't really need that one anymore. But just rotate that like so. What it's going to end up doing is whenever this doesn't have enough coal, it's going to take this inserter and it's going to put more coal into it. So now we need to take the transport belts all the way down to the copper and iron. And then we need to do the same with our electricity. The goal being that this power grid will be able to power all of our automation from here on. So now and I am sure that there's a more efficient way of doing this. But this is the way that I do it. The idea being that all this coal is going to power my furnace. I put this too close. Alright, hold on a second. What did I do wrong here? Oh, coal has to go around to the other side. And what this is going to do is it's going to make it nice and even so that the coal is on one side and the iron is on the other. And then you can have furnaces on this side. Inserters that put it into the furnaces. And it'll grab coal and iron as necessary, put it in there. Well, up here, it's doing what's necessary for power. And then for here, it's going to be interesting because we don't want the copper and the iron to mix on the same conveyor belt because that's how things get plugged up. So what we need is for a different offshoot for this coal, which we will eventually get, but for right now, we're stuck just kind of mixing them. So where are the conveyor belts? Here are the conveyor belts. And we're just gonna make it so that everything gets put into this iron chest using inserters. Oh boy, we've gummed it up. This is what I was trying to avoid. Alright. So, to avoid it getting any worse, you'll have the copper get smelted up here. And we just want more furnaces at this point. Because the more the merrier. Alright. Now let's see about going. Here's power. Here's power. Burner mining drills are going to be replaced with normal mining, electric mining drills after a while, but we don't need to worry about that just yet. We don't have enough plates for that, so let's grab more plates. We don't have enough copper for that, so let's grab more copper plates. And we're just going to do the same thing as we did with the other side. And so now, while all this automation is great and all, it's very inefficient. As you can see, my copper is getting into my iron coal supply, and it's just all sorts of not all that great. But once we start working on our science and our research, all that can be fixed. So first things first, I need 15 plates for this research lab. Take a while to make. Then after that, you just want to queue up all the automation research that you can. So here we go. Stick that in there, and we are going to start on the research of automation. Key technology for mass production. What this is going to do is it's going to unlock an assembling machine. What the assembling machine does is it just does what I'm doing down here, and it does it for me. And eventually you get automation machines that do it faster than you, and then automation machines that can make better components than you, and then you'll see as time goes on. Just queue all of that. And after that, we're getting electronics. And right now it's pretty cut and dry. There's really no way to go about this that's much different than it is right now. As you can see, 2 furnaces equals production of about 1 mining drill. So if you want 2 mining drills, that's going to take about 4 furnaces. If you want 3, that's about 6. Starting to approach 7. Wait, no. 5 starting to approach 6, because they are a little bit more efficient than just that. Alright, so now we have automation finished. So immediately, always just get your next research started. Now, what did we unlock? We unlocked the assembling machine. Assembling machine takes a lot of iron and a lot of copper. We will lower this quite a bit. Iron plates, copper plates, and what we want to do is now this is where things start getting interesting, and it starts getting, how do I get you over to you, and all of that nonsense. So first things first, we unlocked the long-handed inserter. What the long-handed inserter do is, instead of moving it 1 space, so just right around that focal point, it's going to move it 2 spaces. That's not too important right now, but it will become important later. But we want to make some of these assembling machines, because these assembling machines, what they are going to do is very important. can't move it one further out though. So I'll move you to right here, and then we'll get one more right here. This should work. So first things first, we need more transport belts. You will always need more transport belts. You will always need more of everything. Alright, so put some power here, put some power here. Want to transport you over to here. And now what is this going to do? This is going to make it so that one side is taking in copper for materials and the other side is taking in iron for materials. We should need 3 inserters. One here, one here, one here. We're gonna need more inserters. 2 more. One here, one here, and we're gonna need one more right there. Just make sure that everything has power. This is rather inefficient in the way that it powers all of them. But what do we need? So in order to make these automation science packs, it breaks it down for you. Oh, I guess I don't need a copper component yet. I just need plates. So, we will go right here. Move you. Go right here. Alright, and so what this is going to do is it's automatically going to make iron gear wheels for the rest of eternity until I tell it otherwise. And it's going to put them onto this conveyor belt. What this does... Oh boy. I need one more. Did I have one more hand? Thought that I had one more hand. We will just grab this hand and this hand right now. And I'll replace those later. So now what this is going to do is I'm going to turn this to an automation science pack. And that's going to automatically feed those wheels in there, all the cogs. And this one's going to automatically pull it out, put it down here. And this one is going to take everything and put it into a chest at the end. And I'll just make a wooden chest. No, I don't want it to take everything. You just want it to go right here. Add some power. It's going to take those automation science packs and it's just going to put them directly into my research facility. Once it has 3 or 4 of them, it won't put another one in until it uses one. But that just makes it so that it'll automatically keep on doing it. And all of this copper here is a problem. You take half of the iron, and you take half of the iron. now. I shouldn't run into any more problems like that until I start expanding. As you can see, it's just gonna pile up here. Don't worry too much about it. This will not cause any efficiency issues until later. But now what do we want to get after electronics? This is gonna pause the game, so I'm gonna do this kind of quickly. You can go for automation 2, you can go for circuit network, you can go for solar energy, fast inserters, or electric energy distribution, because that's what electronics goes to. But what we actually want, we don't even really want electronics right now, we just want the logistics. I've been researching the wrong thing. What logistics is going to do is it's going to make it so that you can put your transport belts underground, which isn't too important, but it also gets you the splitter, which separates all of your different materials evenly, which is going to be very important for my coal, so that I can have a separate line entirely for copper and for iron. And as you can see, the coal's like all the way backed up. So it's all the way back here. Let's go get my stone. I shouldn't need any more stone from here on out, other than for furnaces. And these burner mining drills are basically useless now. Alright, so we just wait for a while, let the game play itself. I guess I can show you bad guys. This looks like a rather small colony, so just to show you what they are. They're a bunch of insectoids. They come charging after you. They have structures and buildings and stuff, but I'd rather not go fight that with just the normal pistol. I'll see if I can get you a closer look, though. As you can see, it spits acid at you. I can zoom out a little further to show you. But it's these guys over here. And they have their hives over here, which produce the little guys who run after you. And they probably have more stuff too, because once you get fully auto weaponry, you're able to kind of just deal with them. I said that I was going to make these inserters, but I never did I? And this is a rather inefficient way of transporting everything. I should probably just be using conveyor belts for everything. But it's always nice to have more of these inserters, as you'll see later. While we're waiting. Oh, another thing, you can make more research labs. I should probably be doing that too. Because one research lab can only research so quickly. But once you make more of them, you will see that more labs can research faster. Another thing that's nice is that you can take the research out of one of it and insert it into another. So you don't even need to make a different network just yet, because all of that just will automatically put research where it needs to go. And we'll get one more, just because. This is probably going to start researching faster than I can actually produce research. Okay, so now that we have all that done, again, we want to go back to electronics so that I can get the electricity energy distribution. But first, I'm going to need the logistics science packs in order to even get that. So let's start research on this first. And this just unlocks your tier 2 research. It makes green science rather than red science. You'll still need red science, but it's another path altogether. And we'll get into how to use the splitters pretty soon. I need more iron. So you go here, you go here, we will put you here. And inserters here and here. And again, as you can see, I'm just using research faster than I can produce it. I can automate it more to make it faster. But first things first, we want to separate our copper and our iron production entirely. So what we want to do here, so we want to take a splitter and we are going to put it right here. And what that will do is it'll make it so that an even amount of coal goes to both sides. No, go up. And so now, as you can see here, you'll get coal and you'll get copper on the same side. So now we can tear apart all of this. Let's do this a little better. We don't need to have it go all the way out there. It'll be better this way. We want first furnace be 1, 2 inserters away. Yeah, we'll just go 1 long-handed inserter, I guess. I guess we are using these long-handed inserters already. Oh, that doesn't work. To the other side with ja. Let's get the transport up going one further. And we'll just take these long-handed inserters. And use them to insert it directly. They also move a little bit faster than the normal inserter, but that's really not too important. So we've got our normal automation science packs automatically making. We can do it faster. You know what? I may as well, just to show you how fast it can actually be done. We're just going to make another one automated. You are also going to make an automation science pack. Now we need wire, we need this to go further. We need this to go down. We need you to go one further. Wait, no. We want you to go up, you to go down. And then we need to place all of these labs back. And the entire theory of the game is that you slowly just do this more and more with more and more complicated items. That's not quite there. Where is here? Well, now it's all off sync, but you get the point. Hook up power here, here. And the science production is now lovely. We're still using science fast, though we can produce it much faster than we can produce it. This one actually isn't. Gotta hook you up. Bring in plates. So now we're actually going to be using this facility. It's still not going to be fast enough, even with all that. As you can see, if I can remember how to do it. How do I check my pollution? Our pollution is starting to spread out quite a bit, and if it reaches those colonies, they'll get attracted to us because they don't like our pollution. Then we have our electricity, if I can check that. Oh, probably have to head all the way back up. And our consumption is about 60%. 60% of the steam that is possible for it to be consuming. So again, it's just a fairly basic setup for right now, and it will get more complicated, it will get bigger, it will get better. I need to stop automatically shooting my buildings. And there we go. Now that we have that, again, our plan is to research those electronics. Which means that we'll need the electronics and we'll need steel processing. So I'll just take the electronics, turn that on, resume, and then I'll just let this run for a little bit longer afterwards. It'll just give us more steel, more copper. I'm not going to change anything. Now that's like this though. And then I'll just leave it to run until electronics finishes. So that's all I had for today. I see that you put in something into the chat, but considering that I'm not really sure what that is, I didn't really respond to it. As always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time that I stream if you're there, and expect to get a compressed version of this video since it's going to be my main upload for the week. See you later.